All right, y'all. Let's go.
It's now less than 3 weeks until one of the most controversial fights of the year, and Jake Paul has just revealed his secret weapon. But this time, it's not some flashy new gadget or an outrageous trainer. It's a world champion. The hype around Tank Davis versus Jake Paul keeps building with every passing day, from knockout bonuses to unexpected alliances forming behind the scenes. Honestly, this entire build-up feels like something straight out of Netflix. And now, Jake Paul has raised the stakes even higher, bringing a world champion sparring partner into his Miami training camp ahead of the November 14th.
Can you blame a man for taking that opportunity? Because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But
this news came straight from Jake himself during an interview with TMZ Sports. You could tell he's feeling the weight of what's coming. He called it his most dangerous fight yet, admitting that, for the first time in a long time, the no's are real. Internally, I'm the most scared I've ever been going into a fight. Jake confessed, being vulnerable for a second, this is crazy, this is scary. It's kind.
And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. You know, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary.
But right after showing that rare vulnerability, Jake balanced it with something powerful, revealing that he's been stacking his camp with elite talent. Alongside familiar faces like Raymond Ford and Montana Love, he announced that Shakur Stevenson, one of the most technically gifted and defensively sound boxers alive, is joining his camp.
Man, I'm thinking about, Bigfoot versus Littlefoot. Andre the Giant versus Wee Man. Man, this is going to be better than damn Circus Olay. Yeah, they're going to look weird as hell in the ring together, man. You see how big Jake Paul is? 200 plus pounds? Man, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
And that's the part that stunned everyone. Because if you followed boxing even casually, you know that Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis have never exactly been on friendly terms.
When it comes to Davis, you know, he says in that press conference, what do you say? Just be a fan and watch the fight and enjoy the fight. Enjoy what, bro? You against Uber drivers? I don't want to watch that. You know what I mean? And then you get a guy who gives you a good fight, and you can give him a rematch. You know what I mean? And then you want to be compared to Floyd. Floyd gave instantaneous rematches. You know what I mean?
The two have traded shots on social media, teased a fight that never happened, and constantly drawn comparisons as two of the most skilled lightweights in the game. So to see Stevenson crossing that invisible line, stepping into Jake Paul's camp, is massive. Even Shakur seemed fired up about it, posting on X, "Fire. Get a chance to pick a great business mind and help give some game in process. I'm down." Short post, but it said everything. He's not just showing up to spar. He's there to learn.
Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Strategically, it makes perfect sense. Stevenson's style is built on timing, control, and angles, the exact tools Jake will need to survive Tank's relentless pressure. Because Tank Davis isn't just fast and explosive, he's calculated. He breaks opponents down round by round, forcing mistakes, then makes them pay. And no one has studied that pattern more closely than Stevenson. By bringing him in, Jake has basically hired a human playbook for how to decode.
Yeah, in terms of sparring, you know, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that.
Meanwhile, in Miami, the stage is set. The fight will go down at the Caesars Center, and Jake's made it clear he's not coming to survive. He's coming to shock the world. He's slimming down, matching Davis' pace, and focusing on countering explosiveness with precision timing. My goal is to walk Tank into a knockout, like I've done with other opponents. Jake said, "It's bold, but that's been his philosophy from day one. Control the chaos and make the moment his." Now, with a knockout bonus on the line, psychological warfare on both sides, and Tank's rival training in Jake's corner, this build-up doesn't just feel like a promotion.
A 92-pound weight difference, almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What don't you understand about this? If you want respect from your peers, if you want everyone on the...
But here's the twist. Even with all this collaboration, Shakur Stevenson isn't actually picking Jake to win. In his own interview with TMZ, Shakur was honest. While he respects Jake's preparation, he still believes Tank Davis will come out on top. Size will play a part, Shakur said. But if I'm thinking like Tank, I'd just outbox him, use my knowledge, my IQ. I can see Tank making it real easy.
Geo's world, facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated. He know it.
Classic Shakur, calm, analytical, and brutally honest. He's never been one for hype. He understands that Tank's power might grab headlines, but it's his ring IQ that truly sets him apart. The way Davis reads opponents, sets traps, and dissects them round by round. To Shakur, Jake's size is an...
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that.
But not everyone sees it that way. Terence Crawford, arguably one of the most complete fighters of this era, has a very different take. Speaking on the Full Send podcast, Crawford said he's leaning toward Jake Paul to pull off the upset. And his reasoning? Pure physics.
The camp of the latter. But instead of giving us the rematch with Roach, he's going to fight Jake Paul. Now, this is where you have a chance to stand up as fans. Don't pay for it. Don't watch it. But we know that you're going to.
He doubled down on that thought. In reality, he's way too big for Tank. Tank's talented, powerful, explosive, but Jake's got that right hand. I've seen it up close. The dude's big, not as slow as people think, and he can punch. Then Crawford added the line that lit up social media. Honestly, I think Jake, by youth, by size, there's no real winner. It's an exhibition.
Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena.
Crawford's perspective hits differently because he's one of the few elite fighters who's actually spent time around Jake's training. He's seen the power up close. He's watched the evolution. And that point about the jab, it's no small detail. Jake's entire game revolves around that long reach, using it to set up the right hand against shorter fighters like Davis.
Jake is big, Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Meanwhile, everything coming out of Gervonta Davis' camp right now feels like controlled chaos. You can hear it in his team's words, see it in the training footage, and feel it in the way media outlets are being fed selective clips. They are pushing one message, that Tank's not just keeping up with bigger men, he's breaking them. It's all strength, aggression, and intimidation.
And you know what? PBC has to be called out in this too. They have one of the biggest stars in boxing, and they're putting them in this farcical fight. And they are struggling for survival, PBC. They are just falling apart. The Pacquiao fight did terrible, terribly promoted.
His team claims he's putting guys down in sparring, that even heavyweights are getting rocked by his shots. They are saying the weight difference doesn't matter, because the damage still tilts in Tank's favor. The tone from his camp is clear. No strategy talk. No.
The fight is scheduled and everybody's going to watch it. So with all the eyes on it, there's only one result that is going to be of satisfactory. Only one result. And that is if Tank knocks out Jake. That's the only result.
Behind all that noise, there's a quiet truth. Tank knows exactly what he's stepping into. He's smaller, lighter by nature, and now he's trying to bulk up without losing that explosive speed that defines him. His training isn't just about conditioning anymore. It's about engineering a body that can carry the same knockout power against a...
What do you think of Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis? I know on Instagram you called it a circus.
Yeah, this boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me a question like that again.
And that mindset shows in how they are training. Don't ask me that again. One insider laughed when asked if Tank was doing long sparring rounds. Because he's not. His focus on short, violent bursts, searching for that single clean opening that can change everything. It's not about pacing for 12 rounds. It's about landing that one perfect shot. Tank's trying to preserve what made him...
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying?
His longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, has been blunt about the details, especially the gloves. He pushed for Tank to wear 8-ounce gloves, lighter, sharper, and far more punishing, while Jake sticks with 10 or 12 ounce. Ford knows how much that matters. He called it the equalizer. Because while they can't control Jake's size, they can control how much every punch hurts. To Ford,
tried to play it off and throw it back on Coach Calvin, Gervonta, and their team and say that was their idea. But that makes no sense, bro, because Gervonta fights in 8-ounce gloves. 8-ounce gloves. Now Jake fights in 10-ounce gloves. 10-ounce gloves.
But over in Jake Paul's camp, they're not buying a single bit of it. They've been watching every leaked clip from Team Davis and laughing, calling them staged, edited, and cropped to show dominance, not struggle. Jake even mocked it publicly, joking that his team heard Tank looked dangerous and couldn't help but laugh. But that's not just trash talk, it's psychological chess. Jake understands how narratives move. He's not just training for the fight, he's shaping the perception around it. He stays calm, confident, even dismissive in front of cameras. And when the lights go off, he's sparring with world champions, studying every angle Tank might bring.
Why y'all couldn't take 10 and he had 8? Already he giving up 4 ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait. You guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. I'll do 4. I'll do 2 ounces.
Tank Davis, on the other hand, has gone radio silent. No interviews. No hype, just the occasional post. Short, sharp, almost cryptic. He's not trying to sell the fight anymore. He's trying to remind everyone who he is. He doesn't talk his...
Looking good in this. I don't know how it is. It looks to me, David and Goliath, but David got skill and Goliath doesn't. But I don't know how it's going to work out. But if for some reason it winds up being a really fun event and it has tons and tons and millions and millions and millions of viewers, when Gervonta Davis goes back to...
But over in Jake Paul's camp, they're not buying a single bit of it. They've been watching every leaked clip from Team Davis and laughing, calling them staged, edited, and cropped to show dominance, not struggle. Jake even mocked it publicly, joking that his team heard Tank looked dangerous and couldn't help but laugh. But that's not just trash talk.
To know in some things, I think Gervonta's just gonna stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab.
Tank Davis, on the other hand, has gone radio silent. No interviews. No hype. Just the occasional post. Short, sharp, almost cryptic. He's not trying to sell the fight anymore. He's trying to remind everyone who he is. He doesn't talk his way into fights. He hurts his way into silence. And right now, that's the energy his entire team is moving with. Cold, focused, and ready to make every word from Jake's camp vanish the moment the first punch lands.
Tank looked very uncomfortable facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets in their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're gonna go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is meant to.
But beneath all the training and tactics, there's something deeper, something personal. Tank Davis isn't just fighting Jake Paul. He's fighting what Jake represents. Because Jake has built his entire brand on proving real fight.
Man, I'm thinking about, Bigfoot versus Littlefoot. Andre the Giant versus Wee Man. Man, this is gonna be better than damn Circus Olay. Yeah, they gonna look weird as hell in the ring together, man. You see how big Jake Paul is? 200 plus pounds? Man, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
For Tank, this fight isn't about belts or rankings. It's about erasing that narrative once and for all. You can feel it in his preparation. This isn't casual. He's not joking in camp. He's not treating it like an exhibition. Inside that gym, they're training like it's life or death.
He put that up to let it be known, hey, I'm after the paper right now. And I got to say this, Tank, most definitely, bro, him, not them that did his stuff in his career, but the move that he made recently, and I'm going to say not taking that rematch against Roach first, that was most definitely going to be a blockbuster event everybody want.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul is flipping that same seriousness back on him. He's been honest. He's scared. But that fear, it's fuel. His sparring with faster, sharper fighters who mimic Tank's rhythm. His trimming down muscle, trading bulk for agility. Every session is built around one mission. When Tank explodes, step back just far enough to make him miss. And then make him pay. Jake's entire mindset is simple. Don't get caught. And make the smaller man pay for every inch he...
Jake Paul brings something to media and to boxing. You cannot miss a fight. I like it, V. I like the drama it's bringing, I'll be honest.
But nobody really cares about this fight.
Yeah, are you going to watch it?
Yeah, of course. That's how it's going to go. Nobody really cares, but everybody's going to watch it. Like,
V said, nobody cares about this.
Then there's Teofimo Lopez, who didn't hold back when asked about the fight. His take was casual, but cutting. This isn't about legacy, he said. It's business. When asked if a loss would hurt Davis' reputation, Lopez just smirked. Not at all. It'll just hit his bank account. To Lopez, this whole matchup isn't a chapter in Tank's career. It's a side quest. A big payday before the curtain falls.
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
And maybe he's not wrong. Davis has already hinted at retiring before the end of 2025. So this Jake Paul fight, it feels like a test of what's left. It's less about belts, more about the statement and the money that comes with it. But not everyone sold on the idea. UFC President Dana White put it bluntly. He's too small. White admitted Tank hits harder than Mayweather ever did. But when it comes to size, Jake's just massive. He's got to tie him up, lean on him, make it ugly, White said. And coming from a guy who's seen every kind of fight up close.
Yeah, just a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed.
He warming up.
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Jaden Love.
Then there's Matt Brown, who took a more balanced view. If Tank takes it seriously, he's gonna beat Jake, he said. But Brown also questioned his focus, wondering if Davis still has that same razor-sharp mindset he once did. Still, he gave Tank the edge in skill. He should be able to run circles around him, touch him up, hurt him. He just can't get hit. And that's the picture now. Respect, doubt, curiosity, all circling the same question.